Okay, this is another edition of I didn't feel like plugging in the mic and I didn't feel like just recording it and uploading it later, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. So let's talk a bit about California. Actually, you know what? Let's do Stop the Seal. I call it the reciprocal nature of politics. Let's just go ahead and change it. Stop the Steal and the recall in California. That's what I'm going to call it. There we go. All right. There we go. So stop the steal. Oops. Got to put the space in there. And the recall in California. So why do I compare these two things? Now, of course, I know what people are going to say. What's going on, Matt Barron? How are you? I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, how could you compare January 6th, where 5 people died, and the Capitol was overrun because of the false narrative that Trump won the 2020 election, whereas Gavin Newsom is being forced out of office, right? And that's what people see it as. Now, of course, this is the whole thing with libs in general. The thing is that I'm doing okay, just a little sleepy. But the thing is, though, when you hear this sort of nonsense, and you think about the details, of course, like with California, it seems like every 10 years there's like a political collapse and also an infrastructural crash in California that happens. Whether it's Governor Brown with Arnold becoming president, or excuse me, not president, becoming governor. Like I say, Reagan becoming governor after the Black Panthers, overtook, the state capitol in Sacramento. So, I mean, it seems like every few years, it seems like, I mean, at least every decade, at least, there's a shift change that occurs in California. And I think there's a lot of libs who live in the fantasy that, oh, well, California is great. It's just that, it's such a huge economy. It's because they benefit from it. I mean, the reality is whether it's taxes, whether it's homelessness, whether it's whichever metric you want to look at, California is awful. I don't even say it as California. I think that California is the best example of capitalism. Whether you want to look at San Francisco with their supposedly sort of communal living, or you want to look at the massive tent cities plural in Los Angeles, or whichever choice you want to make, the constant fires that have occurred. Some due in part to PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. I mean, so many things have occurred in California, but the thing is, though, they're just like, oh, so what? Whatever. So what if Gavin Newsom is pretty much sold out to the core? We'll say things like, oh, well, climate change is real, and wear your mask, this and that. But then when it comes to him having fancy dinners when lockdowns are supposed to occur and not wearing masks and talking to lobbyists, apparently that's okay. And people will make their excuses, just as people are making excuses for AOC, and say, well, just because AOC, I mean, yeah, she probably didn't pay for that $35,000 New York Met Gala thing. She probably didn't pay for that. Maybe it was coming from taxpayer money, and she could have donated that money, but, right? So she's still good in somebody's eyes. And it's pitiful, pitiful cope. It is. It's pitiful cope to see what is occurring in California, and also to see what progressives, heavy quotes on that, what these progressives are doing. Are they progressing us any further? No. But the thing is, though, it goes to show that maybe Jason Unruh is correct that, yeah, there is no revolutionary potential in the first world. What I would respond with, however, though, is the rest of the world doesn't give a shit about you. And even they don't want a revolution. People are upset, but I think that they aren't willing to go out and get shot, you know? They still think they have nothing left to lose. So, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. Now, the comparison, but I mean, we've seen the constant fires. We've seen the homelessness. We've seen all this stuff that occur in California. And what has Gavin Newsom done? He's given lip service. He has given the standard speeches and all this business. And so people will make excuses for him because they so don't want Larry Elder to enter into office. I feel like I've done a video on this. Like I said, I want to make crystal clear. Lost the geographical lottery. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Earthquakes, the fires. Oh, yeah. I guess I'll finish up with this. I think that Larry Elder's sort of zero minimum wage is kind of ridiculous. Like I said, I think Larry Elder is one of these guys that just, they want to call him, I'm going to say this before. I know I said this before, but people want to call him a coon. They want to call him a coon or an Uncle Tom, but they are too afraid of looking racist. So they're like, he represents white face. He represents blackface white supremacy, this and that, where it's like, really? You're going to use blackface as an example? I don't know. I think that, you can make the comparison between the two. And to see this pitiful defense. Now, the biggest difference is, of course, is that libs ultimately want other people to do the violence for them. They want someone else to do the violence for them. They're not going to do it themselves. That's the biggest difference between the MAGA boomers and the MAGA peds versus the Biden libs and just the libs in general. They are not willing to do their own violence. They would rather get somebody else to do it because they don't want to get their hands dirty. They have their jobs as actors or actresses. I've seen, of course, people like Leah Thompson, of course, talk about this. I can imagine an unironic Cali fascist party coming to power when they run out of water and try to BTFO Arizona again. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. But the thing is, I mean, this is the whole thing. I know I've done a video about California, but I feel that it needs to be said because, of course, people are really going to be covering it. People are, like I say, Joe Biden, a lot of the Dems are coming out in defense of Gavin Newsom. And to me, it's ridiculous where it's like, it's the team sports bullshit where you're like, I'm going to talk bad about Trump and say he's a fascist, this and that. Go ahead and say that. I don't care. But then if you consider yourself an anarchist, such as people like Bo the Fifth Column, but then not talk shit about Joe Biden, make a clear defense of him and all this sort of thing and say, well, he's doing the best, he's doing better options and stuff like that. So, really, he's doing better. And it's just, when you have that sort of mindset, you're already gone. That's all I have to say. You're already gone. There's no getting past it, in my opinion. Oh man, I'm sleepy. I think that's all I really have to say on that issue. When I get off on Friday, so probably Saturday or Sunday, I will record the next Ernst Junger reading, and I'll hopefully go, like I say, about 40 minutes or so. try not to go over that, but yeah, I'll just kind of go with the flow of it and go from there. Anyway, I think that's all I got. Hopefully, y'all enjoy this video, and see you later. Goodbye.